Hello, Bible readers. It's Monday, January 25th. We're reading from Proverbs chapters 4 through 6, and then John chapter 15, verse 18 to chapter 16, verse 24. I'm going to start with Proverbs today. Chapter 4 is about tradition, wisdom, and its ways. Turn your foot away from evil. That's how chapter 4 ends. I love that simple wisdom. You know, when you see evil ahead, turn your foot away. One word about, I think this is an important thing to know about Old Testament and Hebrew writing in general, is the difference between the metaphor of heart for Hebrew writing versus Greek or Western writing. When we talk about heart, we usually talk about heart as opposed to the head. I do this all the time. I'll say, yeah, I get it here, but I don't get it here. I talk about typically wisdom, like when I talk about this with confirmands, wisdom is being heart smart. Like it's not just smart in your head. Wisdom is the kind of smarts that come from your heart. Well, in Hebrew writing, the heart in the Old Testament, it's the source of a person's will, the source of a person's real thoughts, the source of a person's feelings. The inner person is described with one's heart. Isn't there, I think in the Old Testament it would say with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul. So it's not that there's never a distinction, but heart really gets at your whole self much more than anything else does. God, belief in God, is a matter of the heart. And I love this quote about tradition. Tradition means giving votes to the most obscure of all classes, ancestors. And so chapter 4 is about honoring those ancestors by giving them some votes. Chapter 5 and 6, they talk about sex and money. Chapter 5 is how adultery is folly, marriage is wisdom. And so it's a chapter a lot about avoiding temptation. And there's a whole section in this commentary I was reading about the strange woman. Who is the strange woman? The strange woman is the forbidden fruit. The strange woman is your neighbor's wife. The strange woman is that whom you aren't supposed to lust for, right? So you have your own wife, your own home, and yet your eye wants to stray, perhaps. And of course, so chapter 5 is about how that is folly. Adultery is folly. And to invest even deeper into your marriage, that's wisdom. Chapter 6 is about money. So as much as chapter 5 is trying to teach the wisdom of faithfulness to a spouse, chapter 6 is teaching about faithfulness through the ways we use money and our time. Not just money, but you also get into sloth. Money talks. And if that made you think of a Neil Diamond song, I meant to do that. We expose our wisdom through how we use our money and with how we use our time. So slothful isn't good either. Okay, into John. John's talking about what is the believing community's relationship to the non-believing community. Pretty much the whole way through the gospel, John has been going after, know who Jesus is, where he's from whom he comes, and belief will bring you to trust, will change your life. Well, what about those who don't come to belief? The believer community, what's its relationship to the non-believer community? Well, John is pretty clear here. The believer community's relationship is one of receiving hate, persecution, and death. We are challenged to shape our life according to the standards that God gives through Jesus. We are challenged to give in to the standards of the world. As they hate us, as they persecute us, as they kill us, we can't become the hate we receive. Now, this does not pertain to us like it did to the John community. Christians are in the majority in our context, so this doesn't speak to us as much. in the same way. The other piece I wanted to say before I leave, Paraclete. This is a big idea in the Gospel of John. The Spirit is most central to John's Gospel. In other Gospels, the Spirit might show up at a baptism or within the gifts of a believer, but here we see Paraclete as its own character, really, as a teacher and a witness, a much more robust description. The Paraclete is the presence of Jesus. And so the Spirit is really given a whole lot more identity in the Gospel of John than we have before. I am one with my God. My God is with us, all of us, at all times and in all places.